Hi everybody, I'm going to show you cheap ways to clean your makeup brush. Instead of using the expensive stuff, and this works just as good, I'm going to show you with a couple different brush sizes and stuff. And first what I'm going to do, because the beauty blender takes a lot, I'm going to fill this up with warm water. And I'm going to pour this cheap little cleansing. This was about probably $2 or $3, which is cheap at Walmart, that you can use, and it cleans it just right. Into the water, just a little bit, and you can swirl that around with a brush and to mix up all the solution for the beauty blender. It'll soak in when you have it soaked and stuff. You'll let that soak up, and it'll start diluting the makeup on it. And now with these, I put in a little bit of this cleanser. Into this. And I put some actual soap in there. You can use bar soap or pump soap. Into this too as an alto if you want it to smell good. I use this to clean it to help get every little thing off that. Or you can use a spray to just spray it and rinse it with soap and stuff, and it'll come right out. But it takes a little bit because it's oily. But I'm gonna do it the cheaper way. And this is like $5 at Walmart, I think, at the most. First brush I'm going to take would be a blush brush. As much, get it wet. I'm going to turn off to save the water. I dip it in the cleansing solution. Put it on here, which scrubs, which works very good. You should invest in one of these. This one is cheap. I got this as a set with the cleanser. At Walmart, or the beauty blenders, I don't know, depending on where you're at, where it would be in Walmart, but mostly the beauty section. And it cleans it well. And the foaming is the good thing, because you can tell it's getting clean. Now with these, it'll take a little bit longer and a lot of more work at it. You guys can comment down below what's your favorite makeup brush cleanser too. And what some of your methods that you like for cheap and expensive. I normally rinse this off. If you're a person who's kind of like me that has to have it spotless, clean, and stuff, you do this. If it's mostly gets it off, as you can see. It's just stained my brush a little bit pink, but it's all off. And I do this to keep it in shape. I normally have a brush holder from Walmart that's $2-something, which you brush it, you hang it upside down instead of upwards, because the brushes will separate when they dry. So this is the best way for that. For a foundation brush, I use this for primers or liquid illuminators. This will take a tiny bit. What I do with this, I use all three cleaners because it's very oily from the product. I first start on this, scrubbing it. And with this, you'll see a lot of glitter and product come off. This might take, depending on if you use this for primer or foundation. I tend to use the rougher side because it's sometimes hard for me to get the oil off, but it does clean it eventually. I rinse it. Some of it's starting. I take bar soap, which is the best thing to use for these stuff, as you see the product coming off on it. Doesn't matter what bar soap you use, whatever your fragrance and stuff. Start moving it with your hand a little bit. You can take it in the scrubber. Make sure you rinse it good in warm water because it kills all the bacteria from makeup in your skin and gets the oil off. And now it's clean, just simple, easy, clean. Here's an eyeshadow brush. This, you can use foam, which I could show you. This will work. It's a tiny brush, or you can use the stuff and you see the product coming off immediately. This is just normal hand soap. Very inexpensive, any of your fragrance or favorite kinds that you use. All you need is a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way. I also do because it's kind of like a paintbrush to take care of it the best you can. And if you want, you can comment below if you want to see my makeup brush holder for drying if you have no idea what I'm talking about or what that is. Especially if you are a new beginner with makeup and how to take care of your makeup brushes. Next will be an eyeliner brush, which I get that wet. I put in because my eyeliner is kind of waterproof. So I would put it in solution. Be very gently with this because this is a tiny, small brush that will bend easily in this form. But for waterproof, any mascara or eyeliner, I would use the cleanser more than the soap, but it works with the soap. And now it's clean, easy black. Mold it, shape it. This is my highlighter. I use cream and liquid highlighter, so you can do either way. I'm going to dip in both. Soap and cleanser. Showing you different types of brushes for you to know what to use for different brushes. And then Beauty Blender. Beauty Blender will take a little working if you have a white one or you're a person that likes it spotless clean. If it doesn't really matter to you, just mostly clean for certain people, that's great. For me, I have to physically clean it because it drives me nuts. If it's not spotless clean, especially mine with white. This one's dual. I do both. I mostly use soap for these. Now if it's stained, I'll use the cleaner. I just work that in there. Just easy, cheaper way. You don't need a high-end one. If you want, you can. But if you don't have that money or they're out of high-end ones and your only alternative is cheap cleansers from Walmart, these work wonders. I don't have that much money, so I get the cheap ones and they work perfectly for me. See, the end here is all pink is gone. This one has pink on it. The eyeshadow. I mostly use this side for them, but for the long ones, I use both to get inside and this would get on the outside where it's stained. Kind of scrub it a little bit hard, but not too hard where it ruins your brush, but enough to get the pigment off. And see, this is off easily, that quick. Especially if you don't have time, this works. Beauty blenders might take a little much time, but it's enough to get it clean. This is a big brush. Now, I kind of use bar soap with these too, mostly, and stuff, because I feel like it cleans more and gets it off quicker. I don't know, sometimes I prefer bar soap over cleaner, or sometimes I sometimes do this in my hand and work it, and then I start doing this. Sometimes you need to wet it. It's not my favorite pad, but it works if you need something cheap and easy to clean. And this is a big brush, so I can use all sides. This big side is for like big brushes like this. This is for like medium, and then these are for like eyeshadows, but you can use, I use all of it to help it get it all off. As you see so far, it looks clean. I kind of go like this. And see, this brush is all clean. my last brush, this I can use cleaner for, because this is a different brush. I kind of take more easier. And also what the soap does with your brushes, it also moisturizes it for not be dry as much. Because sometimes cleansers dry it out. Soap is better for it, like it's good on your skin. It's good for your brush, especially if you have kind of like real hair on yours instead of fake fiber plastics bristles. That's a good way, especially if they dry out. You can even use conditioner if they get really dried out and frayed. If you really love a brush you love and you don't want to get rid of it, or don't have money to get another one like that if it's an expensive brush. See, this is all clean. No more blush on it. Mold it, put it back in this netted, keep it shape. But still, again, hang them upside down even if it has the net and keeps it in shape. And now here's the beauty blender part I'm doing. The kind of longer part, but it takes it. Rinse that out. You squish it, you start seeing the foundation, concealer, and setting powder come out. That's from the cleanser. But I feel like what works best is totally clean it, but that helps it get most of it out from the inside. I wet it, I scrunch it all over and make the water come out of there. I rub it against there, get it like lathered up, make sure it's covering the spots where you have foundation, concealer, or powder, depending on what you use your beauty blender for. Kind of work it in, and I squeeze it out, try to get the most as you can possible. Since this is white, I will do mine all the way until it's clean. This is the concealer and powder and I use on this. And this is the foundation. And this will take you probably, depending on how many times your beauty blender needs it or how many times you use it. This normally takes me probably 6 to probably either 9 or 10 times to do it, depending on if you want it completely spotless, mostly spotless, or just a little bit clean if you're going to use it again real soon. And you just repeat the same process until it's clean. Now, some of it might stain, but if you try to get the most out of the stain, but the key helps with warm water, because that helps gets it out. As you see, it's getting less and less dirty. And with beauty blenders, they do soak up a lot of bacteria and stuff. I suggest after so many times of uses, and if it's really bad stained and you can't get it out, I suggest probably to get a new one, because you have acne, or you depend to get acne or any blemishes or pimples. It's sometimes because of your beauty blenders. If you use a beauty blender, because it does hold, you have to replace it. And what I do, I kind of get a couple at a time to save, and I try to use the one of as most as I can before, because beauty blenders don't last too long depending on how much you use them and how much you will make and how much. And I try to keep it as clean as often where it won't stain that bad and stay clear of bacteria, especially right now with the COVID-19. If you do get this, you kind of like, especially with COVID-19, I would keep it clean because of the bacteria in the air more often. For you won't, because it's going to be harmful to your skin, or you can catch the bacteria. Almost clean, but with me I go kind of crazy. As you say, it's white. I kind of want it somewhat normal. It might be a little bit stained, that don't bother me, but it mostly when it's clean. So far it's looking good from beginning to end. This is taking a little, because sometimes the powder with the concealer kind of keeps it in a little more where it's harder to get, but I just use a lot of soap. This is just hand soap, or I think they have, I don't know about Walmart, but I know if you go to Ulta or Sephora, I think they have some cleansing brush cleaning bars. That's probably works good, but I think they're expensive. But this is for cheap areas because it works just as great. You don't need it, really. It might work better, but if you don't mind sitting here and doing it for a little bit, just to have a clean brush or beauty blender and stuff, it's worth it in my opinion. Instead of using expensive, I could use expensive, like if you had like a very expensive beauty blender or expensive brush, you can probably use it on that. But like if you have cheap stuff and you don't have the money, even on expensive, this works. See, the end is all gone. This takes a little bit. I just keep going back. And what I do with this, I kind of take my nail lightly and scratch it, and somehow it moves. And I also do this, and I squeeze it out, and I think it's all out. As you see, this beauty blender is clean. I would show you other types of beauty blenders that are slightly different texture on how much that does and what I use. But I have none that are dirty at this moment. This was the only one. Make sure all the soap's out because that can also make your skin itch or have irritation if you have very sensitive skin like I do. That's why it's important to clean. I normally clean my brushes every week or every 2 weeks if I have the time, but mostly every week. I use a full makeup, the same products and stuff, and that's how sometimes I will do a skincare video later on, and I'll show you how my skin looks because of taking care of your makeups. But this is the end result of these brushes. I'm going to put in this. Yes, I did make this in our class. It was supposed to be Egyptian, and this was supposed to be a snake, but I broke that off. This is what I put it in. Sometimes when I do cleaning brushes, normally I keep it in an acrylic makeup brush holder, and this is not how you stack it. If you have what I told you, which I could show you in another video if you want, but this is what I have all clean. If you remember from the beginning result how bad they were to now, just by using these products. And you can use this too. So I'm going to wrap up this video, and I hope everyone likes. Go give a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel.